Be functioning properly now, Bonnie.
My name is Bonnie, and I've been so happy with our poets. We are the Live Poet Society of Winnsboro, Chapter 1. There'll be other branches, I'm sure, in other towns. Here is a story about a branch in another town. They call themselves the Big Bear Writers Group. When I was out in California, my friend Pam has a friend Michael who I've met who lives up in Big Bear. And he was deeply intent when I saw him on getting this little pamphlet of their writing together. And it cost him quite a bit. I do see that this contributor helped support the publication. It was the Noah Purefoy Outdoor Desert Art Museum of Assemblage Sculpture in Joshua Tree. He got different people to...
This is a collection of poetry or
yes,
prose or
well,
both?
Actually, I thought it was more going to be poetry, but what I see is it's really, some of it is almost like prose poetry, little stories and things. But here's the group right here. There they are. Michael likes cats, that's why, so we have a cat picture.
Yeah.
Michael's and his group's picture. Cat picture.
Okay. Got it.
And he's giving it away free, but it cost him some money. And this is what he said. A gathering of friends, and I think we have become friends. Once upon a time in the wilds of Big Bear Lake, in a village called Sugarloaf, an eclectic group of talented writers got together. It's us all over again. To form a group to meet weekly. They had that much interest in that many people to share their work. For several years, the group has been meeting once a week for about 2 hours to read their writings out loud.
That's probably how often your Bible study group meets, weekly, right? Your Bible study group probably meets weekly.
Yes. When everything, when the sun is right, the moon and the stars, yes.
I mean, weekly is, for something you're really into, that is fairly common.
But I think we're good when we're doing just this. But maybe we could have done other. But anyway, the Big Bear Writers Group hopes you will enjoy what has been written. We intend to make this anthology available twice a year. We also hope to encourage other writers with their creative work. Some of the writers are artists as well, and they share their talent with the writers. You are welcome to share your thoughts in letters to the editor. If you'd like to join our little group, please let the editor know. The group is an open-minded bunch of people. As of now, this anthology is available at the library, free of course. We hope to be able to find some other venues in Big Bear where you'll be able to pick up a copy.
Big Bear is kind of like Big Sur. Big Bear is
up above LA, and it's the closest one you can get to go skiing. That's where a lot of the snowboarder set likes to go.
But I mean, it's a geographic area like Big Sur.
It is. Big Bear is Big Bear. Lake Arrowhead is Lake Arrowhead. Big Bear has a lake. Lake Arrow has a lake. Lake Arrowhead is kind of more the older, more established Chris Craft kind of lake. Big Bear is more for the people.
Big Sur is ocean. Big Sur is ocean. Big Bear is mountain.
Big Sur is wonderful. Yeah. And had I done what I said I was going to do, I would have lived there. So I'm just going to read you a couple of, this one is a long one, I'm not going to read all of it. It's by I Am You, by Christine Carol Inman. I am you. I have always been you. I will always be you. Within the quickening is for us to step out of the dream of time. We are all light workers. Breathe deep. Understand love. Form must be respected and honored. Love the one that is lost. When you are fully initiated into the light, the worst thing about darkness is that it keeps you waiting. Have no fear. When you face it, it dissolves. Source of ego. Suffering is being lost in the perception of time. And that's Christine. But I kind of like this one. This one, what happened to that one? It was pretty cute. There's a couple of Irish. There's Seamus O'Dubslane and Sibohan, Siobhan, Shimoban. There's a writer, or a singer now with that name. So this is hers. Her name is Siobhan O'Maclean Brethnack. Bearing Ursidae. And remember, this is up at Big Bear Lake, and the state symbol for California is the grizzly that is no longer. Solitary golden bears stare at each other across the boulevard. Wooden comrades from a grisly past. One cradles a sign that says, garage sale today. The other drifts off, wistfully remembering, still air of only bees at work. Ursi americani californica, black or brown, great bear and little bear, once major, now minor. Natives to this zone of rock plant sky, no more, soul short, Polaris grievous. And then they have little witty things. Don't try to teach a pig to sing.
Why not?
You know that one?
No, I don't.
You'll just frustrate yourself and annoy the pig.
Yeah, I know the-
So that was what he did this fall. That was a little labor of love, and I'd love to see us do it too.
You know,
I have-
do you have any idea what you mentioned the
The
money?
cost.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what it cost him to put that?
No, I will ask though, but you know, he wanted to do color.
Yeah.
And he is he comes down, Pam is really good at straightening out your spine. That's why he comes to Pam's house. And
Pam is a chiropractor.
and she trades some work to straighten out her computer. So he does that. This is what I was thinking about when I was thinking about that. And this was my poem for tonight. A pocket of poets. We're a little pocket.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little pocket. Secret place of shared laughter and sorrow. Writers in rhyme or haiku, long poems, short poems, friends of the pen. We'll never forget each other.
Friends of the Pen. I like that.
That's my
Is that
offering.
you wrote that one?
Hmm?
That is your original work.
That, of course.
Just wanted to, for the record, get that on there.
Oh,
So, okay, sweetie, I got a bad back tonight. I've really overdone it.
okay.
I made it my job to get rid of everything in one of my big storage
I'm going to read,
things on the property, and I'm sorry.
three fairly short poems here.
Good.
One is called, you may have heard a couple of these, one I know one of them you've definitely heard before.
Who is the author?
Well, various authors.
Oh, okay.
This one is called The Old Familiar Faces. And it's by some guy named Charles Lamb. I'm sure you've heard of Charles Lamb.
Rings a bell.
Rings a bell. Okay. I have had playmates. I have had companions. In my days of childhood, in my joyful school days, all are gone, the old familiar faces. I have been laughing. I have been carousing, drinking late, sitting late, with my bosom cronies. All are gone, the old familiar faces. I loved a loved one, fairest among women. Closed are her doors on me. I must not see her. All are gone, the old familiar faces. I have a friend. A kind of friend has no man. Like an ingrate, I left my friend abruptly, left him to muse on the old familiar faces. Ghost-like, I paced around the haunts of my childhood. Earth seemed a desert I was bound to traverse, seeking to find the old familiar faces. Friend of my bosom, thou more than a brother, why wert not thou born in my father's dwelling? So might we talk of the old familiar faces. How some they have died, and some they have left me, and some are taken from me. All are departed, all are gone, the old familiar faces.
I like that.
This one is entitled Memory. I won't tell you who it's by till I've read it. See if you can guess. My childhood's home I see again, and sadden with the view, and still, as memory crowds my brain, there's pleasure in it too. O memory, thou midway world, twixt earth and paradise, where things decayed and loved ones lost in dreamy shadows rise, and freed from all that's earthly, vile, seem hallowed, pure and bright, like scenes in some enchanted isle, all bathed in liquid light. As dusky mountains please the eye, when twilight chases day, as bugle notes that, passing by, in distance die away, as, leaving some grand waterfall, we lingering list its roar, so memory will hallow all we've known but know no more. Near 20 years have passed away since here I bid farewell to woods and fields and scenes of play and playmates loved so well, where many were but few remain of old familiar things, but seeing them to mind again, the lost and absent brings. The friends I left that parting day, how changed as time has sped, young childhood grown, strong manhood gray, and half of all are dead. I hear the loved survivors tell how naught from death could save, till every sound appears a knell, and every spot a grave. I range the fields with pensive tread, and pace the hollow rooms, and feel, companion of the dead, I'm living in the tombs.
Ooh.
Abraham Lincoln wrote that
Really?
when he was 37 years old.
Oh, well, you know, he is generally regarded as having been a victim of what was then called melancholia, which we now call depression.
Manic, maybe a manic depressive, except one never saw him manic. You know?
I don't think anybody knows. It's speculation now, but you know, he himself, I think, referred to his melancholia from time to time. I was going to guess. I never would have guessed Lincoln.
No.
I was going to guess. You sounded like it was someone who might have at one time been famous. I was going to guess Edgar Guest or James J. Metcalf or somebody like that. You know.
I'm not going to tell you the name of this poem or who wrote it because you'll know as soon as I read the first line. I've never read this poem before, although I've heard bits and pieces of it over time. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward. All in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward, the light brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward, the light brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. There's not to make reply, there's not to reason why, there's but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to the right of them,
Cannons
to the left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, boldly they rode and well. Into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turn in air, sabering and the gunners there, charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell, all that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made, all the world wondered. Honor the charge they made, honor the Light Brigade, noble 600.
Was that Rudyard?
That was Alfred Tennyson.
Ah.
It was Alfred.
Someone should have, maybe did, and maybe I just don't know about it, but someone could have written, and maybe should have, a similar kind of poem about Pickett's charge, because it was just as dramatic and just as futile.
About which?
Pickett's charge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure a poet wrote about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about in that manner. It's been written about thousands of times, but someone to have made it, the charge of the Light Brigade is immortal,
Right.
Yeah, but Pickett's charge is known only by those who are Civil War buffs or things like that.
But it's an exciting piece. It brings you right there. It's very
Yeah, yeah. And Tennyson, I think, is one of the great wordsmiths of all
He
time.
was. There's my earrings.
Alfred Lord Tennyson.
Yes. Oh, there's only one of my earrings. Uh-oh.
Would you hold this?
He
This
will
is-
hold it. I can't
Well,
hold
I don't know
it.
whether he can. Oh, he can sit in my chair.
I
and
can hold
yeah.
it. I can sit in your chair and hold it.
Okay. And this will zoom it in and out
It will,
if you need to.
but I can't do this and take picture stills at the same time.
Okay, I
I'm not
got
as
you.
ambidextrous
No, that's no
as you.
Shit.
I don't need to pick. no
Let you lose
picture
one?
today.
Okay.
Hear yourself, you belong to me.
Oh, we're recording here. 18 minutes and 26, 7, 27, 28, 29.
With rue my heart is laden for the golden friends I had, for many a rose-lipped maiden and many a light-foot lad. By brooks too broad for leaping, the light-foot lads are laid, and the rose-lipped maids lie sleeping in fields where roses fade. And that says everything that the other two poems said.
Right, right.
And that was A.E. Housman.
Yeah, that book, that's Best Loved Poems is the name of that book. I should have told you.
And
the
he
name of
lost all of his friends in World War I. And that's why that poem was written.
it. Well,
I found my earrings.
good for you.
Yeah.
I found a pair of earrings outside
It's
my.
been very propitious.
I found a pair of earrings outside my back door
Uh-oh, don't say that out loud.
the other morning, round ones. Just a
Especially-
pair of them, just sitting on top of one another.
Especially when all the news that's fit to print's around.
Well, that's true. I don't get the chance to read the paper anymore
He's
now that
too
Art and
busy
Espresso.
looking at his poem.
He's
thing
looking.
to listen to
He
us.
is busy
We could talk about it.
changing his glasses and looking very studious, and
I was going to say we could talk about you something awful right now. and you
that's
wouldn't
right. You're not
even
paying any
notice.
attention to us.
Maybe we get recording.
And it's recording, so it's all recording too. Let's get a little closer here.
I think with that in mind, what we just heard, I don't think I'll change my mind here. I want to.
You're going to change your mind.
Well, maybe. I don't think so. This one is happens to be sort of, at least obliquely, in character with the charge of the Light Brigade. Let me see if it's too long. Yeah, maybe. I guess that is a little.
Yeah, you only got 9 minutes left on
We
this
do.
recording, so
And we have to
on the
go to
recording, so
don't-
Donald is keeping track.
Character of the Happy Warrior, and see if you can tell me who it. Same contest. Who wrote this? Oh, and it's from a book called Poems That Make Grown Men Cry.
oh, okay.
Who is the happy warrior? Who is he that every man in arms would wish to be? It is the generous spirit who, when brought among the tasks of real life, hath wrought upon the plan that pleased his childish thought, whose high endeavors are an inward light that makes the path before him always bright, who with a natural instinct to discern what knowledge can perform is diligent to learn, abides by his resolve and stops not there, but makes his moral being his prime care, who, doomed to go in company with pain and fear, bloodshed, miserable train, turns his necessity to glorious pain, and face the death. I've got a bad deal here. I'm going to have to repeat that last sentence. Corrects them and subdues, transmutes, bereaves of their bad influence, and their good receives. By objects which might force the soul to abate, her feeding, rendered more compassionate, is placable, because occasions rise so often that demand such sacrifice, more skillful in self-knowledge, even more pure, and tempted more able to endure. As more exposed to suffering and distress, thence also more alive to tenderness. 'Tis he whose law is reason, who depends upon that law as on the best of friends. Whence in a state where men are tempted still to evil for a guard against worse ill, and what in quality or act is best, does seldom on a righteous foundation rest. He labors good on good to fix, and owes to nature every triumph that he knows, who, if he rise to station of command, rises by open means, and there will stand on honorable terms, or else retire, and to himself possess his own desire, who comprehends his trust, and to the same keeps faithful with the singleness of aim, and therefore does not stoop nor lie in wait for wealth or honors, or for worldly state, whom they must follow, on whose head must fall, like showers of manna, if they come at all, whose powers shed around him in the common strife are mild concerns of ordinary life, a constant influence of peculiar grace, but who, if he called upon to face some awful moment to which heaven is joined, great issues good or bad for humankind, is happy as a lover, and attired with sudden brightness like a man inspired, and through the heat of conflict keeps the law in calmness made, and sees what he foresaw. Or if an unexpected call succeed, come what it will, is equal to the need. He who, though thus endured as such a scene, and facility for storm and turbulence, is yet a soul whose master bias leans to home-felt pleasures and to gentle scenes, sweet images which, wherefore e'er to be, are at his heart, and such fidelity. It is such daring passion to approve, more brave for this, that he had much to love. 'Tis finally the man who lifted high, conspicuous object in a nation's eye, or left unthought in obscurity, who with a toward or untoward lot, prosperous or adverse, to his wish or not, plays in the many games of life, that one where what he most does value must he win, whom neither shape nor danger can dismay, nor thought of tender happiness betray, who, not content that former worth stand fast, looks forward persevering to the last, from well to better, daily self surpassed, who, for the praise of him, must walk the earth forever, and to noble deeds give birth. Or he must fall to sleep without his fame, and leave a dead, unprofitable name, finds comfort in himself and in his cause, and while the mortal mist is gathering, draws his breath in confidence of heaven's applause. This is the happy warrior. This is he that every man in arms should wish to be. Sound like anybody? You know?
Hmm?
Sound like anybody, you know?
The Norman Schwarzkopf.
Good guess, yeah. But it's actually William Wordsworth.
Oh, you mean who wrote it?
Yeah.
That was my question at the beginning.
Oh, I was thinking about warriors that I admired.
Oh, okay, so you weren't thinking he wrote it.
No, I didn't.
You have less than 4 minutes recording. You want to start a new file?
No, he'll do
Let's
this.
have a
'cause
paragraph
I have
to
to
read.
go home.
This is the last, today is, well, the last one for Bonnie for a while.
Yeah.
Paragraph from Edward Hirsch, How to Read a Poem.
Okay. You got 3.5
Go to page 32.
You got 3.5 minutes. Less than 3.5
Oh,
minutes.
that's all right. It's just a paragraph.
Oh, I know. Could be a big paragraph.
Here's Elizabeth Bishop's poem, One Art, from her last book of poems, Geography 3. The art of losing is not hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day except the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing is not hard to master. Then practice losing further, losing faster. Places, names, and where it was you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last, or next to last, of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing is not hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster some realms I owned. 2 rivers, a continent. I missed them, but it was not a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love. I shan't have lied, it's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, disaster.
Oh.
That's Elizabeth Bishop's poem. That